YouTube, welcome back. It's DubDigital, and today I got a very special guest at the channel. Today we're talking to Jesse Herman of LetsGo.Finance. How you doing, Jesse?
What's up, DubDigital? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. I'm talking today with Jesse regarding LetsGo.Finance because it looks like a very promising platform that, just full discretion and disclosure, I am personally invested in, but for good reason. And today we're going to go over and discuss those reasons as to what the platform is, why I believe it's revolutionary. I haven't seen a product like this, at least in the crypto space thus far. So without further ado, Jesse, let's go ahead and get started. For people who aren't familiar with you, can you just give us a quick rundown on your background and what brought you to building up this platform, being the founder?
Awesome. Yeah, I will. Let me just preface this by saying I have been dealing a little bit with the flu. I might have to cough at times. Sorry about that in advance.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I'm getting better. Yeah, my background is I've influencer marketing space for the last 6 years, roughly. My agency has about 20 billion with a B video views for clients, starting mostly on Facebook back in the day before we started to get, censored and banned and all of these things like everybody did pretty much on Facebook at one time.
Mm-hmm.
From there, I actually don't talk about this much, but I've been working with like political campaigns and things like that. We actually got somebody into Congress last year. If you believe that. Big upset. And I really didn't like that much though. So I decided to launch this platform. I got the idea because I got tired of the limited options for people in terms of PayPal banning people, in terms of the banks clamping down on people, just kind of limiting free speech, limiting people that can participate in the economy. And beyond that, like a lot of people get mad at Patreon, but Patreon, really, it's not their fault because it's the credit card companies. So Patreon might censor people, but Patreon's just doing what they have to do to make the credit card companies happy. So they're not their own boss. I wanted to create a platform where we were our own boss. It was a decentralized donation platform. So I started to think about ways to do that. I made a fair amount of money in DeFi last summer. DeFi summer, I think we all remember that. And it just connected. I was like, oh, well, if we could stake on an organization, a charity, a community, an influencer, an artist, and split the APY, split the yields, split the interest, I guess they call it in banking, that would be pretty dope. So we went with that concept. That's the core concept of the site. There's a lot of layers on top of it I can show you, but we really are like taking that concept and then just like drilling it down to create all these other cool features. But it's all about splitting APY. And for me, it's a better way to donate. I would rather donate to somebody by staking on them, because when I'm done staking, I can remove 100% of the funds. In addition, I can split the APY. So like I can actually get rewards for, or money, if you want to call it money, rewards for donating to people. Nowhere else does this exist. You can't donate to people without spending money. You don't get rewards for donating when you're not even spending money. So it's these concepts. We built protocols that sit on top of Venus and Pancake Swap for the Binance Smart Chain. We're going to be launching on Ethereum and Matic here in the next few weeks. It's actually ready, but we just want to roll it out strategically.
Sure.
So we're rolling that out soon, and I think we'll be the #1 donation site on Binance Smart Chain. There's not that much competition. We'll be the #1 donation site on Ethereum and Matic when that's all rolled out. So that's pretty dope, and it's just a matter of everybody cares about pumping the token, and nobody wants a higher token price than me. I want the highest ego token price you could imagine. But for this project to succeed, you have to stake on influencers. You have to stake on organizations. If you stake on an influencer and they're making money, they're going to promote it. It's really that simple. If you're not staking on an influencer and they're not making money, they're not going to promote it. So it's a compound network effect where you stake on the influencer, they're making money, they promote it, token price goes up, we're all happy. So that's the premise of this. To me, it's working in the influencer agency business for like 6 years. It's the perfect way to kind of leverage, their egos. Essentially, they're making money. We're a free money platform. On our platform, you are free to make money. That's what we're all about, you know? So we're not, if you want to make money on our platform, you can make money on our platform, you know, because everyone's like free speech, free speech, free speech. I love free speech too, but I love free money more. So here you can make money.
Awesome. You know, and he kind of delved into some of the questions I had lined up already. I was going to say, what were some of the pain points and sticking points in legacy like solutions as to where you saw opportunities? But it sounds like you just kind of identified a vacuum within crypto space in general, being like, there's not that many, and I got to vouch for that. There's not that many donation focused protocols, let alone splitting yields. It's mainly just like one-way yields.
There's donation tokens and they're like charity tokens. But for me, and I couldn't even tell you the individual projects, but just in a general sense, because some I'm sure have great intentions. For me, it's like, well, why do you need, like, why? Like, it's just a marketing thing, right? We spent 6 months developing this. I put like 8 months of my life into making this a reality. The platform is ready. We didn't launch the token until the platform was ready. This is all about donations. It could be for charity. It could be for influencers. It could be whatever you want it to be. It could be for church or community. It could be like you want to have an organic garden community. You know, everyone, it's like a voluntary tax system in the town or township where everyone says, hey, you know, all you crypto whales in our township, why don't you plop down your money here and help support, you know, building park benches down the street, right? So like there's so many potential use cases for what this is. I don't know if I answered your question, but you know, it's I didn't even realize the potential use case when I thought about this. I just thought about like a Patreon competitor. But then when I got into it, I was like, holy crap, like for charity? I didn't even think about charity. I'll be honest, like at first I wasn't like, we need to come up with the greatest charity model out there, you know, like it. And then I started to talk to people and then it's like, oh yeah, like for charities, churches, like people give 10% of their paycheck to their church every week.
Sure.
Like they would probably stake on their church if they could, you know?
Yeah, and you know, let's make it easy for the people who aren't familiar with LetsGo.Finance. It does a few things, right? So basically, you can one support an independent artist, and that's basically who I believe it's targeted to. Although it's not just independent artists, it's also like some enterprise and charities, like we discussed. Also, though, there's a paywall feature in case you happen to be an influencer or something of that sort, where you no longer have to depend on something like a Patreon, right?
So let me just dive into the additional features that I think all kind of revolve around the split APY system. We have the paywall feature. We call it staking wall. You're familiar with that? With like OnlyFans has that. We're not doing the porn thing, but OnlyFans has that. Patreon has that. A lot of these donation models have that. That's great. That's really cool. The blog's being implemented in the next week, and then the paywall on top of that very soon. The feature that I really love, and the paywall is key. I've never gotten into paywalls myself, but a lot of people leverage paywalls through Patreon, and so I'm glad we have that feature. But the feature I really love, that I don't even know if you know about it, my phone keeps buzzing, I'm gonna throw it away over here, is the social tokens. So we have, if you open up your profile right now, you can see that you can select and unselect the tokens that display on your profile. Once we start adding social tokens, and let's say like Britney Spears, or let's say you create your own token, DubDigital token. Well, then everybody can decide if they want to display the DubDigital staking cards on their profile. So let's say like one of your competitors, one of your haters, for whatever reason, is just like, I hate DubDigital. I am not going to display that token, right? Let's say it's like a community or like a sports league, like Big Ten, right? It's like every Big Ten school has their own token, right? And then they would like within their league, they would only display their own staking cards. But the point is like you can display whatever staking cards you want. And so you can support, it's like a community oriented DeFi, social DeFi network where we're all have our own communities, we have our own little micro economies, and we can support who we want to support. Some of it might be because like, you know, like if it's the rap community and Snoop Dogg creates a token, right? Like, of course they would all add his token because it's going to blow up and because, you know, it just makes sense. So like, I love that feature and that's ready to go. If you want your own token, you do have to go through us. We do have to do a little bit of organization in the back end. But if you're a bigger influencer or, you know, enterprise, community, business, whatever, like we'll do it for you. We'll set it up. All right. So I think I'm going to just walk your audience through the platform real quick so they can check it out. All right, guys. So we're going to go right here, and I'm connected with my MetaMask wallet. That's all you need. So I haven't actually signed up to this account yet, but which is a good thing. So I click sign up. It feeds in my MetaMask address right here. I can customize the URL. Like I was just talking about, you can choose what staking pools appear on your profile, which will be very relevant once we have a bunch of social tokens and stuff being added, and you might not like some of the celebrities and what they stand for, an activist cause or whatever, then you can just unselect it. And then we have the social media channels here, your image, your categories, your name, that's it. So between the MetaMask address and this, I mean, that's 10 minutes. And if you already have a MetaMask address, it's 2 minutes. You should get it in an account, especially if you're an influencer. But if you're not an influencer, you can stake on yourself. And I know a lot of people they like the donation idea, but let's just be real. You know, people like to stake on themselves and make all the money. I would suggest do that. That's awesome. We promote that idea. But if you do that, try to set some aside to stake on an influencer, because the thing is, the more you stake on celebrities, the more they'll want to promote the project, and the more the token as a result should pump. Not financial advice. Here I am on DubDigital, and I've heard of this guy. He's got a pretty good YouTube channel. So you know what? I'm going to click cake. I'm going to just stake. Of course, staking doesn't mean I'm giving it to him. It means he earns the yield. So I'm going to just stake like 50 cake. And now here I have a choice with the ego, which for some reason we have the default all going to me. We might have to fix that so it starts at 50%, but at any rate, you can choose like 100% DubDigital, 100% me. Now, personally, I have a lot of ego. So, you know, I minted the token. So I don't need all of this ego, and I'm going to give it to DubDigital. But, you know, you can decide that. All right, so here I'm going to hit deposit. I'm going to hit confirm. By the way, we just launched today. Like, this is hot off the press. Now, I'm using a Ledger wallet for additional security. So that's why I'm getting these prompts. You probably won't do this. It'll probably just go right through if you have a MetaMask. But I do it through a Ledger. So it takes, I'm just like hitting buttons right now, like I have to do with every transaction, using a Ledger wallet that's synced in with MetaMask. So I've deposited. Sometimes it takes a second to register, but there it goes. $1,230 staked. Now, I did not give Dub $1,230. Again, I think most people watching this understand the concept, but he'll get the APY sent to him. We've created a protocol that sits on top of Pancake Swap. So Pancake Swap has, last I checked, about an 87% APY for cake. In addition, you're getting approximately the same APY, probably right now. I don't know what the rates are exactly, 180%, yeah, of the ego. So he'll be earning on top of that 87%. I know I'm not going to do the math. We'll just call it 90. It's 93%. So that's what that is. So everybody understands how that works.
So I was just basically asking, can you explain the functionality of ego? What's its purpose to the LetsGo.Finance platform, so everyone can understand?
Yeah. So the ego is a rewards token. First of all, you get rewarded with ego. There's community governance. So there's a percentage of the transaction fees that we take, and that goes to community governance. And you are going to pick on a monthly basis where we spend that money. So depending on how much ego you own, you can vote how to distribute that money. It could be a charity. It could be an activist cause. It could be like to a new media launch. I don't really care where it goes. Like, literally don't care. My whole thing is to make sure it functions properly. I'm never going to vote, just so everybody realizes, like, I'm not going to come in with my bag of ego and vote on this. Like, I want the community that's earning these tokens to vote. Now, you can buy the token on Pancake Swap, but I really want people to earn the token through participating on the platform, because you participate on the platform, this is going to be wildly successful. So yeah, that's basically it's community governance. It's also like as we add these social tokens, you're going to be able to mine those tokens through Ego. So if DubDigital creates a token, then you can stake the Ego on that staking card to earn DubDigital tokens. That's another obvious use case there. So I'd say like those are the main points of what this token is right off the bat. We're adding NFT functionality. Oh, by the way, when you stake Ego, there's no fees. We're adding NFT functionality, and there's going to be the Ego incorporated with that, with no fees and better prices and things like that. We're having the social NFTs. So essentially, like if you look at the profiles, like this essentially, you can see it. It's like an Instagram, right? You have the profile, you have the staking card that's different. And then here will be an NFT display. This will look like an Instagram feed. It'll have comments, everything. So if you buy somebody's NFT, you're basically buying real estate on their social media account. So if it's a big influencer, that's kind of a cool thing, right? And all the comments when you buy it will go to your profile, but it'll also still be displayed on the influencer, and it'll say that you bought it. So it's a way of cross-marketing, cross-promotion. It's like leaving a tag that's on top of the display. It's just a way of growing your audience in a way that, honestly, I don't know why Instagram hasn't incorporated this, but they haven't. So I guess, we decided we would. So yeah, that's basically that. But, again, the core for me, what makes us so unique, and there's a lot of these like social NFTs that are coming out. The social NFTs really complements what we're doing with the social DeFi. The social DeFi, nobody else has done it. And that's the core of what we're riding with. That's the thing that makes me most excited. That's the thing that we've been developing for the past 6 months. We could have easily launched like 2.5 months ago with just, stake Ego and split the yield. Like we could have done that, which possibly you could argue we should have. We wanted it to look like a legitimate donation site. And the only way to look like a legitimate donation site is to have somebody stake USDC, and then the influencer gets paid in USDC. Like that's a very legit transaction. Staking Ego and us trying to pump the token, and they get Ego, and then everyone's like Ego. Yeah, you can stake Ego and you can split the APY, and the APY is very high, and I suggest you do that. But we have to give the other staking options, so they can stake Ethereum, which everybody, that's a very legitimate coin, and somebody receives Ethereum. Like that is a legitimate business. The other business model, which is what crypto kind of can be, is, pump my token, stake this token, receive the token. I get it, but like the thing that took us a long time was coming up with this smart contract where we're essentially depositing and withdrawing from Venus, from Pancake Swap, from Sushi Swap, and these types of things. That's what took a long time to develop. And that's what's very unique about this platform, that it doesn't exist anywhere else.
Sure. Yeah. And one of the things with any yield platform where there's like money involved or significant amounts of money involved is like security. And guys, just to let you know, LetsGo.Finance is currently in the process of getting 3 security audits done. I believe it's Quill, Solidity, and Certec, right?
Quill and Solidity are done. And both of those have been posted. We have to add them to our homepage. Now that we launched, we got to shift gears here. But we'll add those, and then we posted them on social media. Solidity needs to update a couple things, but it's just a communication thing. We passed out with flying colors. Quill did a fantastic job, and they went back and forth with us working on the audit. That's done. That's complete. That was great. We did great on that. And Certec, obviously, they're aligned with Binance. They will actually, I think they're gonna not promote us, but they're gonna share their results and stuff on their social media, which they don't really do that much, but they really like our project. So I'm excited about that. It's gonna take a little bit more time for them. It's gonna be a couple more weeks, but they sent the preliminary, and that was very good as well. So any corrections that they had, we made sure we corrected before we launched. So I was just like, you know what, like let's do like at least 2 security audits, and then I decided let's just do 3 security audits, because we're messing with people's money, Our development team's great, the smart contract. We kept as simple as possible. I mean, we could have been a little more clever with the way, like when you stake cake on an influencer, 100% of the cake's going to that influencer. We could have been a little more clever and split that cake up, but we really just wanted to reduce the amount of code and the amount of steps and transactions that are happening behind the scenes. And we wanted to keep it as simple as possible. So that's where like the genius of the guys that developed the code, they broke it down like that. Cause I had all these like great concepts, right? And they would kind of stop me, right? They're like, no, we want to make this as simple as possible. So while they get 100% of the cake, like I said, you can stake on yourself and then just decide, how much you want to stake on that person, since you can't divide it up that way. But the reason we did that just was for security purposes. So essentially all we're doing is depositing and withdrawing, That's basically what we're doing through the smart contract.
So basically, reducing steps, one, reduces the amount of, like, I guess you would say, attack vectors for people who are trying to attack your code. I understand that. But also it kind of has a second benefit to it, because you could target like a larger target audience. Because ultimately speaking, and I've always said this, is like the herd is not that technically inclined, at least in like crypto speak. You want these people to come in. That's where the majority of eyes are on the internet. They're not already here. So that kind of serves a dual purpose in my mind. That's a good thing. But who is your target audience? Like, who do you see being the main people frequenting this platform?
It's a great question. I'm not 100% sure how it's going to play out yet. We've designed this to be like everybody has their own DeFi platform. And when we add NFTs, everybody has their own NFT platform. I definitely think that the space that's had issues with censorship and stuff like that will be attracted to what we're doing, which can be good and bad. And I understand the complexities with that. But in addition, you can have your own URL. Like it could just be DubDigital.com. They don't even have to go to our URL. It would be DubDigital.com. This is already implemented, by the way. DubDigital.com, and they just see your staking card. You can change the template. You can change everything. Soon we're going to have a widget, so if you have a WordPress blog, you can have or an app plugin. I think they call it in WordPress, right? A plugin, and you just add the widget to your site, and it'll display your staking card. So we want to be very like everywhere, right? We want to be everywhere. Also, like we could plug in with existing social media sites. We can plug in with existing donation sites. I've already talked to some donation sites. I've talked to some social media sites. I think they're all crazy not to implement us ASAP. Might as well beat your competitor to it. A lot of social media companies will launch. They can't monetize for years. They don't figure out monetization. They just keep getting like donors. Makes no sense. We solve that problem. We are a free money platform. On our platform, you're free to make money. So that's like implement us. Why not? Why would you not implement what we're doing? If you're a church, you could just have, church.com/crypto or whatever. And then there's us and people can stake on you there. So as far as our target audience, I mean, we can't be everything to everybody, but in a sense, we're just a tool that we want people that know how to leverage. That's what we are.
And switching gears a little bit here, it's kind of a vicious cycle the way you set it up, as in like splitting the yield, right, for people who are staking, paying the influencer, and also people participating getting paid as well. Which influencers have you lined up so far? Because I know you did some work even before launching this token, getting people on the platform. Any notable names you'd like to mention?
There's some controversial people like Milo Yiannopoulos signed up, which he's been off every platform in the world. Isabel Riley, Deborah Lee, like these are people that are big on other platforms you might not be familiar with. And we're going to be working with them on like Instagram. So they do the swipe up campaigns and things of that nature. So in all, like we partnered with an influencer company that has a network of about 40 million. So they've been onboarding 40 million followers. They've been onboarding their people. So that's been an ongoing process and that will continue. So in all, we have their network plus additional, so roughly about 40 million total followers between our network currently. And, we are just getting started. I'm trying to have the conversation with a lot of people. I'm having conversations with existing social media sites that have, tons of followers, but tons of accounts and influencers that are on their platforms. And it's just a matter of time. People don't really get it. You know, if you don't get it, you don't get it. It's fine. But once people see like, oh, wow, like there's 5 million staked on there. There's 10 million staked on there. There's 50 million staked on there. Oh, wow, they're really making money. Like, I think it'll click in with people like, okay, now we should partner with these guys. Like, I love LetsGo.Finance. I think it's a great name. I think it's a great brand, ego token, all that. But I do want to just be a tool that people can leverage on their brand, on their platforms. So it's not about us. And that's a decision that, frankly, it's just like, you know, branding is great and we're building the brand. But if you can leverage existing brands, then you've really got something, you know, because they've brands that have put in years and years of work, build up audiences that are huge, publishers that get millions of views a day. We want to incorporate on what they're doing, and there will be tons of buying and selling pressure for the ego token and for the other tokens that we've implemented on our platform. Really, like, that decision didn't even come until later, when we really were like thinking about it, talking about it, and we're like, let's just make this a tool for everybody. Like, you know, we could be on competing websites for all we care. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, it could be like a social media website that's kind of competing with social media website, but they both should use our tool. Why wouldn't they? You know, it's just like, it's almost like everybody has a PayPal donation button on their blog, right?
Yeah.
So you might as well have this as an option. I think there's enough money in crypto that it'll make sense for a lot of people. It won't make sense for everybody, but it'll make sense for a lot of people to include this tool. The thing I was thinking about before we really started developing it was like, man, like, I go to like some of these swap sites, some of these, and they'll have hundreds of millions staked on their platform. You don't know who their team is. It's not even original. They just stole a smart contract from another site.
Yeah.
And changed the template barely. And like, some of them run pulled. And there's like $100 million just sitting there. And I was like, well, what if, you know, through the donation model, if that $100 million is sitting on our platform, and you have all these influencers like making a lot of cash. But yeah, so with these, it's just like, the argument I'll hear from a few of the people I talk to is like, there's such a small percentage of my audience that will even know how to use this. What I say is like, there is a small percentage of the audience. It's also the smartest and richest percentage of your audience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only going to grow. So the whole MetaMask wallet, that's how you log in, that whole thing, that's only going to grow. It's only getting bigger. So this is when you want to get in on it. This is when you want to have your own DeFi platform. Makes total sense. So we just brought DeFi to the masses. Like, everybody gets their own DeFi platform now.
I know, I've heard that same kind of thing parroted to me as well. Guys, when you want to get on something, it's not necessarily like when the traction is at all-time high. You know, that's when the least amount of opportunities are presented, especially when influencers in mind, who might not necessarily be investors per se, but just think about it, like Bitcoin, crypto, they're all network effects. What attracted me to this project was you're tying together in a decentralized network all the social media networks.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you know, the other thing is like, who's going to use it is like, I don't know 100%, but like, if you think about the blog functionality that's on our platform, all you have to do is log in through a MetaMask address, create an account, get it verified with us. We don't have to know your identity to get verified. You can verify it through your social media. You are basically 100% anonymous. I mean, it could be like WikiLeaks type scenarios where you're like dropping information, you're dropping intel, and people are like staking on you to support you. Of course, there's a one-time donation feature. There's no fees or anything on our site as well. It could be crazy. Like, there's so much potential with, it's really like a simple concept, but like, man, when you like really break it down, you're like, man, like, you could actually use this for so many different things. It could be world changing if the right people get their hands on it. So we're out there. The funny thing I ran into was we launched the token with like basically no audience, and everyone's just like, "Where's your marketing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? We just launched. We launched today. We launched 3 hours ago."
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean, where's the marketing? We just launched. And they're like, but in crypto, I guess everybody does the marketing before launch, and maybe they just disappear after. I'm not really sure. Some disappear, some keep it going. But like, for us, I don't know how to market something that doesn't exist. I've never done it before. I just can't do the hype thing. It's weird. And so you go to our platform, letsgo.finance, or it's app.letsgo.finance. Check it out yourself. I mean, check out how it works. Nothing else exists like it. And if you got, if you got 30 million laying around, take 3 million and stake it on some of our influencers and let them get all hyped about getting these donations. Like, we're training influencers. Like, we've training like 40 influencers on how to create a MetaMask wallet. Like, we are bringing people in already that have influence that have never been into crypto before, never had a MetaMask wallet before. My hope is that we bring in a lot of people that have never been in crypto before in a big way. Because what I've seen in my experience in crypto, a lot of these new projects with these IDOs and everything else, they just recycle audience. It's like that launch pad that, first they're the Binance Smart Chain launchpad. Now they're the Ethereum launchpad. Then they have the Tron launchpad. Now they have whatever launchpad. Like, they have like 30 launchpads. They're just recycling their audience, and then they dump on retail. My hope is with this project, we can actually bring in new people into the space. And I can say for sure, in the influencer space, we already have. So I think we just got to keep this going. We need participation on the platform. That's it. We need these partnerships. So,
well, if you really understand the product, you don't have to really market, right? Because you're tying together a network of influencers who, if it benefits them, will continue to promo that product.
Train our community on not just thinking about the token price. They have to participate. If they don't participate, this falls apart. You have to participate. That's like, everyone's talking about the price. I'm already bored about thinking about the price. Participate on the platform. That's what makes us unique. If you're not participating, then even if our ego coin pumps, it's for nothing. That wasn't the purpose of this. The purpose was not to pump the ego token. The purpose was to find a whole new way to donate that's never been done before, that's decentralized, that can't be censored by the big banks, credit card companies, and PayPal.
For sure. What coins do you accept as, like, I guess you would say collateral or stakeable on your platform?
Yeah, so Binance Smart Chain right now is Ego, Cake, USDT, USDC, BUSD, and BNB should be added in a couple days. And that's it. That's all we're doing. And then we'll do the social tokens as people sign up for that service. And Ethereum and Matic are going to drop soon, and I'll let you know when they drop. I know on your show, I watch your show, like you said that, I'm taking profits as this goes up this time. Like, I'm taking profits. You guys have fun taking risks. I'm taking profits. Well, people are taking profits. So what are they going to do with their stable coins, right? So this is a great platform. If you're looking for something to do with your stable coins, place it here. You can get the yield if you want to stake on yourself, and you get the ego rewards on top of it. It's a place to house some of your stable coins. Pancake Swap, we integrated with Pancake Swap and built a protocol on top of it because it's 87% APY. So that's like the big hitter, right? Like Pancake Swap, the cake token, they have 87%, and then we can give a percentage on top of that. So that's a good one. And it's not too volatile, and it's a number 32 token, CoinMarketCap. So that's a pretty good option for people to have. BNB, I think, is around 5% APY plus the cake on top of it. Right now our yields are really high. Then now's a great time to stake, of course, because our ego yields are crazy high because there's not much money in the pools yet. Of course, over time that will decrease, but so right now you can earn a lot of ego by staking. So yeah, I mean, we're just trying to like find ways to have high APYs for people, but also like not that high risk.
Sure. And one thing because I dabble in DeFi, right? It's single coin staking, right? It's not dual.
That's another thing that we did to try to make it as simple as possible for people. I can't stand liquidity and all that. Like it really gets annoying. And so this is just single coin staking. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, you can just stake USDC. That's it. You can just stake cake. That's it. So that's a really nice thing. I actually already prefer staking on our platform rather than others for that reason, because the liquidity pools and everything are obnoxious. I find it can be super profitable, and I'm not knocking it. I do some of it myself, but we kept it simple. Stake a token, receive a token, then receive another token on top of that token. walk away happy.
Hey, I was reading through the website and it mentions some other tokens too, other than Ego, like Fuego. Can you expand on that?
Fuego is going to be the Ethereum token.
Okay, they're different names for chains.
Yeah. So Fuego, it's going to be a different token, and we're going to do a massive airdrop, which is going to cost $1 bazillion because of Ethereum fees. But
yeah,
we thought about launching with Ethereum. We're like, because then we could airdrop Ego and it'd be a lot cheaper. I was originally going to build it on Ethereum, and Ethereum was going to be Ego, but I like the name Fuego. It's Fuego. And we just have it like the FU on fire. And then Amigo is dramatic, and that's a little bit up in the air, but we have it built. I don't want to have too many tokens. Like, and frankly, like, we don't even need our own second token. We could just partner with an influencer and they could have their token, and we could make that like the base token for Ethereum. We just want the platform to succeed. We want mass adoption of the platform. The token stuff is fun. I love the Ego token. Like, I think there's massive utility in the Ego token. I am bullish on the Ego token. I think over the next 3-4 months, 6 months, however long this bull cycle goes, the Ego is going to go insane as we develop these partnerships, and the partnerships are coming. But you know, it's all about the platform. You don't have to buy Ego. You can just participate on the platform and earn a lot of Ego right now that will be worth a lot of money at some point. Not financial advice. So, you know, that's what I encourage people to do rather than focusing on the price of our token. For me, that's like a lot of platforms that really don't have much utility. It is all about the price of the token. I get that. We have massive utility that can actually do a lot of positive things in the world. So let's make it happen.
Awesome, man. I think we went over the platform and everything very well. I think we've demonstrated that this is kind of a unique niche that's not exactly serviced in the blockchain community so far, and it's probably gonna be a powerful tool all throughout, I guess, social networks. So anything else you would like to add before we wrap this one up?
Love your show, man. Keep up the good work. You know, you can find us on Twitter and Telegram and all that stuff. Beware of scams always. And you know, yeah, keep up the good work, Dub. I think you're going to just continue to grow and blow up. And you know, your channel, I ran into your channel, like, you know, those video breakdowns you do. I mean, I know the live streams are great. You interact with your audience and stuff, but when you break down token, like, you're the only guy I think on YouTube that makes the breakdowns like fun, funny, entertaining. Like, it's a very unique skill set that you have that you just keep plugging away, man. I love it.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Appreciate it a lot. If people want to come check you out, where can they find you on Twitter or any handle?
Yeah, Twitter. I need to memorize our Twitter, don't I? Because that would help. It is twitter.com/letsgo.finance. Telegram is Let's Go Official. And we had to do official because there's already like weird things going on out there. So it's Let's Go Official is our Telegram chat. We're super small audience right now, but we've like tripled in size in the last day. So we're growing fast.
Awesome. All right, Jesse. Well, hey, thanks a lot for coming onto the channel, and I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Talk soon.
Peace.